There are teams already doing Black Friday sales for playoff tickets. There are some teams, the league is afraid that there are some teams' games where you could get into the playoff game for $6. That is how low some of these ratings might be and how low some of these ticket prices might be. Let's get into it. Welcome to Keep the Vision. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share the channel, hit that bell notification. Let's go. WNBA is in a frenzy right now.
Indiana Fever playoff tickets are going for just $9, less than a Chipotle burrito with extra guac. And these aren't random nosebleed seats either. This is WNBA playoff basketball, and you can walk in for cheaper than a McDonald's lunch.
Fast. The WNBA is in a panic right now. WNBA higher-ups are panicking. They don't know what's going to happen. I already let y'all know. I showed y'all the numbers that they was concerned about the playoff ratings and what they will be for the networks. They're concerned about it already. No Caitlin Clark here to carry everybody. They don't know how these numbers are going to look. Tickets are they're already doing Black Friday sales for playoff tickets. There are teams already doing Black Friday sales for playoff tickets.
Here's the twist. Caitlin Clark isn't on the floor. She's on the sidelines, dressed in street clothes. And with her absence, the entire basketball world feels turned upside down, leaving fans stunned and speechless.
It's $9. This is the cheapest it's been to get into an Indiana Fever game all year. This is actually the cheapest it's been. Look, I still think it's going to be nearly a sellout. Because, I'm sorry, if I lived anywhere near Indiana, if it was 10 quid, I'd go to the game. I'd go to the game. I'd absolutely go to the game. I don't care. I'll pay $10. It's cheaper to be in the arena watching the game than it is to sit at home. Probably more expensive than it would cost to go to pay for one game on Fever Direct, I'd say, if that's a thing.
The Indiana Fever, once charging hundreds and even thousands for tickets when their superstar point guard was healthy, are now practically handing out playoff seats like unwanted Halloween candy. Cheap, overlooked, and barely moving.
It's understandable in this era to figure that tickets for playoff games are more expensive than the regular season, but Fever tickets for Tuesday night remain very affordable. $12, $13. I don't know what they're going to lie about as far as attendance goes. We're going to get into that momentarily. There are tons of tickets, hundreds of tickets available, if not thousands of tickets still available for tonight's game at a cheap price of a bag of a hoagie sandwich and a bag of chips from Wawa. You know, during Hoagie Fest, nonetheless, a hoagie and a bag of chips from Wawa. You can get into Gainesbridge Arena.
This is the same franchise that, with Clark on the court, was charging anywhere from $670 to over $4,000 just for fans to be in the building. Now, tickets cost pocket change, cheap enough to cover parking with cash left over.
WNBA is in a frenzy right now. The cash cow is not available to play. The Golden Goose is not available right now. That is Caitlin Clark. So now everyone has to get their numbers on their own. We saw Caitlin Clark bring in a whopping 1.8 million viewers for her first playoff game versus the Connecticut Sun last season. That was more than all of the other playoff games that was played that day combined. More than all of the other playoff games played that day combined. WNBA's in panic mode.
If you're enjoying this, make sure to subscribe. Let's get real. When Caitlin Clark was on the floor, Indiana Fever tickets weren't just hot. They were the hottest thing in sports. Not just basketball, all sports. She single-handedly drove 26.5% of the WNBA's economy, creating nearly $1 billion in impact. $1 billion with AB. That's more GDP than some small nations. Folks, this is unprecedented.
Last year, the cheapest ticket available to see the Indiana Fever at the Connecticut Sun in the first round of the 2024 WNBA playoffs, $133. Let's just say it's not near that expensive this year. It's not. So right there, Indiana Fever just had Caitlin Clark cut a WWE promo. I'm waiting for CM Punk to run out of the tunnel. There's Mr. Punk right there.
Now we're looking at ticket prices that make a dollar menu seem pricey. Playoff seats start at just $9, and courtside goes for $200. The kind of price you'd normally pay for a decent spot at a high school gym. The drop-off is almost laughable if it didn't reveal how much this league truly relies on one player. When Clark was healthy, dazzling with logo threes and no-look passes, Indiana Fever games averaged more than 17,000 fans at home, outdrawing the city's NBA team. On the road, demand forced opponents to move into bigger arenas. The Washington Mystics abandoned their 4,200-seat home for a 14,000-seat venue, while the Chicago Sky jumped from 10,400 to United Center, packing in over 20,000. That right there is the Caitlin Clark effect in full force, turning women's basketball into a must-see event.
You can get courtside seats, $200. It is $200 to go sit courtside. Second row courtside behind the basket is $200. 1 to 3 tickets. It is $200 to sit courtside this game. This is, in fact, the cheapest. It is cheaper to go to this Fever game. This is the cheapest it's been to get into the Fever all year. Why? Why is it the cheapest? Because, well, see, these tickets went on sale after the Indiana Fever announced Caitlin Clark was going to be injured for the season.
Here's where it gets wild. On September 4th, Clark announced she wouldn't return for the rest of the season, including the playoffs, because of a lingering groin injury. And instantly, like a light switch flipped, everything around Indiana Fever basketball changed. This was a team breaking franchise records in wins and road victories. Yet suddenly they became an afterthought. Their September 16th playoff game, the Fever's first home postseason appearance since 2016, should have been a celebration. Instead, it turned into a case study in how one player can single-handedly carry not just a team, but the relevance of an entire league. Fans once willing to pay thousands to watch Clark are now scrolling past $9 playoff tickets with the same indifference as ignoring expired coupons. That's the power and absence of Caitlin Clark.
The last time the Indiana Fever posted a video of Caitlin Clark talking was almost a month ago. But they know who they need to post when it's time to sell tickets. Damn! Putting CC front and center only when it's time to sell tickets. Oh boy. Oh boy. And we're talking about the tickets, folks. Don't hate the player, hit the game. I'm just a lonely messenger. That's it. Look at these ticket prices. Oh Lord, oh Lord, oh Lord. Look at these ticket prices. $13, $12, $55 for section 100, $27, $147 for section 5, $55 for section 19, $330 for courtside seats. Oh,
this isn't just about the Indiana Fever. It's about the WNBA staring in the mirror and realizing what it looks like without its biggest attraction. Clark's absence isn't limited to ticket sales. It sends shockwaves through TV ratings, merchandise, and overall relevance. The 2025 season proved it repeatedly. Every time Clark sat, the fallout was immediate and brutal. When she missed 5 games earlier in the year, league viewership cratered by 55%. Broadcasts that typically drew over 1 million fans suddenly struggled to scrape 350,000. Even the All-Star game, where Clark was expected to captain, suffered a 36% ratings decline when she couldn't play. It's like buying tickets to a concert and realizing a headliner isn't showing up. Only then does everyone admit they never cared much for the opening acts. Harsh? Maybe. But true. The empty arenas, discounted tickets, and plummeting viewership make it undeniable. The WNBA's fortunes rise and fall on Caitlin Clark.
I don't think all of us were expecting the entire viewership of the entire WNBA to be down. And this tweet from Christine Brennan really stuck out to me. She said one player gets injured and more than half the TV audience for the entire league disappears. Has any other athlete ever had that kind of impact on a sport? Golf without Tiger definitely dropped precipitously on occasion, but not like this. This news is alarming for the league, and it's alarming for the league because this is such a crucial year for the WNBA.
Here's where it gets both fascinating and heartbreaking for Indiana. The Fever built their entire identity around being Caitlin Clark's team. They drafted her first overall, redesigned their offense to fit her rare skill set, and watched as their franchise shifted from WNBA afterthought to must-see primetime. Clark didn't just boost their on-court performance. She elevated their entire brand. Now, without her, The Fever are left trying to sell fans on Kelsey Mitchell's 20.2 points per game and Aaliyah Boston's dependable interior presence. Both are legitimate talents who deserve credit. But the market has spoken, and it's speaking in $9 tickets. The same fans who once camped outside arenas just to glimpse Clark warming up now treat playoff basketball like a Tuesday night trip to Chuck E. Cheese. Which is tragic, because the Fever actually had a historic year. 24 wins, 10 road victories, and their first back-to-back playoff appearances since 2015-2016. By every objective measure, this should be a celebration. Instead, it feels more like a memorial for what might have been.